Hello, my name is Amanda Holmbrook. I'm a managing editor at Oxford University Press, and recently I have been working on the third edition of Q Skills for Success. Critical thinking is very important to the Q series. The Q stands for question, and the series uses a question-centred approach which really drives the critical thinking framework. Teachers around the world have told us that the critical thinking approach in Q has really transformed the way their students think and learn. Some students have never really been encouraged to express their own thoughts and opinions. They were used to a format where the teacher presents information and the students memorise that information. With Q, students have discovered a new way of learning where their opinions and how they express those opinions really matter. You can see that each unit in Q centres on a unit question. In the third edition, for example, does taking risks change our lives? Will artificial intelligence ever be as smart as humans? Can money buy happiness? These questions don't have one obvious right answer. They are open-ended because we want to promote discussion and meaningful language production. We spent a lot of time with the authors, finding the right questions for each topic. We really want students and teachers to be engaged and interested from the very beginning of each unit. In this new edition of Q, we decided to feature critical thinking more prominently. We worked with a critical thinking consultant to develop some new features. First, we added headings on the activities that signal the critical thinking skills that each activity targets. Identify, categorise, apply, for example. These headings align with Bloom's taxonomy, which is a commonly recognised framework for critical thinking. We also added a critical thinking strategy in every unit and engaged the critical thinking expert to work with the authors on developing them. Some of the strategies Q covers are interpreting information, comparing and contrasting, and synthesising information. The authors wrote a first draft and the consultant reviewed them and made suggestions to help explain things better or give more information. He also gave advice on how to practice the strategies. His advice was really instrumental in shaping the strategies and making them work for language learning. We also added videos about the strategies to the online practice. The videos give more detail about each strategy, and we wanted them to help students understand what the strategies are and how they can be used. The critical thinking videos are animated presentations delivered by the Q authors. We decided to get the authors involved with these because we think it makes them a little more personal, like something a teacher might create. This means that students can watch the video online and then do an activity around it. We hope this approach encourages deeper engagement with critical thinking and makes students feel more confident in applying the strategies outside of the classroom.
Welcome to your Oxford University Press classroom presentation tool. Before we get started, make sure you have a screen. This could be a monitor or touchscreen or interactive whiteboard, a cable to connect your computer to the screen, usually a HDMI or VGA cable, your classroom presentation tool access code, and an internet connection to download the software. How to download and install Oxford Learner's Bookshelf. You can access Oxford Learner's Bookshelf via your web browser, or you can download the app to your tablet or computer. To download the desktop app, go to www.oxfordlearnersbookshelf.com and click Download the app. Then click Get the desktop app. On the next page, click Download now. Open the file and begin the installation. Oxford Learner's Bookshelf and the Classroom Presentation Tool also work offline and are available for iPad and tablets. How to register and sign in. Sign in to Oxford Learner's Bookshelf using your Oxford ID username and password. Oxford ID is the name of the account that you use to access your Oxford University Press materials, such as the Oxford Teachers Club, Oxford Learn, Oxford Learners Dictionaries, and Oxford Online Practice. If you don't have an Oxford ID, select Register to create one. Enter your details. Your username must be a valid email address. Read the terms and conditions and privacy policy and tick the box to agree. Click Create My Account. Sign in with your username and password. How to use your access code. To enter an access code, click the Add Books button under My Books. Enter your 12-digit access code and click the Add button. Your books will be added to the bookshelf. Move your mouse over the cover of a book and click the Open Book icon to start using it. How to move the toolbar and change the page view. You will see the toolbar when you open a book. The toolbar is usually at the top of the screen, but you can move it to a different place on the screen if you want to. Select More on the right of the toolbar, then click the Move Toolbar button. You can choose whether you want the toolbar to be set to the top, bottom, or either side of the screen. To change the way you view the coursebook pages, click the More button, then select Page View. To see one page of the book at a time, click the One Page View button. This is also the default view. To see 2 pages of the book side by side, select More, then click Page View, then select the 2-Page View button. Click the Scroll View button in Page View to scroll down through the pages of the book. You can choose to see all the pages of the book at once. Click the More button, then click Tile View followed by the All button. How to use the Go To page and search tools. To go straight to a chapter or unit of the book, click the Go To page button in the toolbar. Scroll to the chapter or unit you want and click the page image. Click the Go To Page button again to close it. To search the book, click the Search and Dictionary button and type a word or phrase into the box. You can search Book. The search will look anywhere in the book. Note. The search will look in text notes you have added to the book. Click a search result to go to that page of the book. Dictionary. The search will look in the Oxford Essential Dictionary, Oxford Word Power Dictionary, or Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary for you. You'll need to be connected to the internet to search the dictionary. Click anywhere on the page to close the search. How to use the Draw and Highlight tools. To use the pen, click the Draw and Highlight button and select the pen icon. Then click on the colour you would like to use from the options. You can also choose the size of the pen marks by clicking the plus or minus icons on the left. The dot in the middle of these options shows the current pen size. When you have chosen your pen, click and drag your mouse to make pen marks. When you have finished adding your pen marks, click the Draw and Highlight button on the toolbar to close the pen options. To delete pen marks, click the Eraser in the Draw and Highlight options. Then click and drag your mouse on the area you want to delete marks from. To delete all of the pen marks for the pages you are on, click Remove All in the Draw and Highlight options. And then click OK on the message that appears. The highlighter tools work in the same way as the pen tools. How to add notes and bookmarks. You can add 2 types of notes, audio notes and text notes. To add an audio note in one-page view, click the Notes icon, then click the Audio icon. If the website asks for permission to access your microphone, click OK or Allow. Click the Record icon on the audio bar. Record your voice. Click the Record icon again to stop recording. Click the Play icon to listen to your note. If you would like to, you can re-record your note by clicking the Record icon again. Press Save when you finish your recording to save your audio note. You can also add an audio note in 2-page view. To do this, right-click with your mouse on the page and then click the audio icon. To delete an audio note, click the audio note icon in your book. On the audio bar, click the delete icon. Click OK on the message that appears. the note will be deleted everywhere. To add a text note in one-page view, click the Notes icon, then click the Text icon. Type your note into the box. You can include a website link if you want to, by starting the link with www. Click a colour for your note. You can enlarge your text note so you and your students can read it more clearly. Click Done to save your note. You can also add a text note in two-page view. To do this, right-click with your mouse on the page and then click the Text icon. To delete a text note, click the text note icon in your book, click the Delete icon, click OK on the message that appears. The note will be deleted everywhere. To bookmark a page, click the Add Bookmark button in the toolbar. Go to the page you want to bookmark, click the bookmark icon in the top right corner of the page so that it becomes solid yellow. Click the Add Bookmark button again in the toolbar to close it. To remove a bookmark, click the solid yellow bookmark on the page so that it is see-through again. To see all the pages of the book you've added bookmarks to, click the More button, followed by Tile View, then select the Bookmark button. To see all the pages of the book you've added audio or text notes to, select the More button, then Tile View, then click on Notes. How to check and mark answers. There are 3 marking options available in the toolbar: Check Answers, Show Answers, Clear Answers. Check and clear answers can only be used when an activity has been attempted. To mark your completed exercises, click the Check Answers button in the toolbar. Your answers will be marked with a tick or cross to confirm if they are correct or incorrect. You do not need to complete all of the exercises on a page to check answers. To reveal the correct answers, click the Show Answers icon in the toolbar. You'll see either a Reveal Answer icon or an answer pop-up icon next to each question. Click the Reveal Answer icon next to each question to reveal the answers on the page one by one, or all at once. Or click the Answer pop-up icon to show all the answers for an activity at once at the top of the screen. You can change the answer for an exercise at any point by clicking the Answer box and choosing a new answer. If you want to delete all of the answers on a page, click the Clear Answers button in the toolbar. Then click OK on the message. All of the answers on the page will be deleted. You can also delete all answers, pen, highlight, and notes from the page at once. To do this, click the Clear Page button in the toolbar, then click Delete in the message. All of the answers, pen, highlight, and notes on the page will be deleted. How to focus and zoom in and out. With Focus, you can open an exercise in full screen to answer the questions more easily. When you click the Focus icon in the toolbar, exercises which can be expanded will be shown with a dotted blue border around them. Click an exercise to expand it. When an exercise is expanded, you will have access to the marking options and the pen and highlighter tools at the top of the window. To close an expanded exercise, click the cross in the right corner of the exercise window. Answers you added when the exercise was expanded will be shown on the page. Zoom in. To increase the size of the page on screen, click the Zoom In icon. To zoom out, to decrease the size of the page on screen, click the Zoom Out icon. Double-click or tap on the screen to zoom all the way in or zoom all the way out. How to switch between classroom presentation tools. Some courses have 2 classroom presentation tools, one for the student's book or class book, and one for the workbook or activity book. Some of these allow you to switch quickly between books to related pages or exercises. Please note that the Switch Books function is not available for all courses. There are 2 ways to switch between books. Using the toolbar, the Switch Books icon will become active when there are related pages in the second book that you can switch to. Click the Switch Books button to switch between the books. Click it again to go back to your first book. You can also switch books using page links. There are interactive links on relevant pages of the books. Click the link to switch to the relevant page of your second book. Then either use the Switch Books button in the toolbar or the interactive link to go back. How to play and record audio. Some books include listening exercises. These will have an audio icon. To listen, click the audio icon. The audio player will open and automatically play the audio. To pause the audio, press pause. To repeat a section of the audio, click the A-B icon on the audio player at the start of the section. Then click the button again at the end of the section. The chosen section will play on repeat. To control the speed of the audio, click the slow, normal or fast options on the audio player. Some classroom presentation tools have scripts within the audio so that the class can follow the dialogue.
Sporty.
6,
Friendly.
7,
Clever.
Students can also practice their pronunciation in the audio bar. You can record students speaking and then listen back to the recordings. To record pronunciation practice, click the record icon on the right of the audio bar. If the website asks for permission to access your microphone, click OK or Allow. Record a student or class. Click the record icon again to stop recording. Click the play icon to listen to the recording. You can re-record the practice if you want to by clicking the record icon again. To close the audio player, click the cross in the top right corner of the player. How to play video. If your book includes video, you will see a video icon or play button. To play the video, click the button. You can also adjust the volume, view the video in full screen, or drag to resize the video and pause the video from the player. Some classroom presentation tools have scripts within the video so that the class can follow the dialogue. You can move the scripts around the video so you and your students can see them clearly. Need more help? Click the Help and Support icon at www.oxfordlearnersbookshelf.com or in the app. Or you can send us an email at eltsupport@oup.com.
How much time do your students spend on their phones, tablets, and computers? Imagine if they could use some of this time to improve their English. Welcome to IQ 3rd Edition Online Practice, the online component for the Q Skills for Success 3rd Edition series. IQ Online is designed to improve students' English language learning and extend their learning outside the classroom. It's been designed specifically with teachers' and students' needs in mind and works across all device types, so busy students can continue to learn and practice English wherever they are. IQ Online provides a wide variety of activities and resources that are closely aligned to the Q Skills for Success 3rd Edition course content, allowing students to extend their classroom study and continue their learning outside the classroom.
Connect.
Connect. Connect.
Instructions in the student books direct students to activities and resources in IQ Online. For the reading and writing strand, the Writing Tutor allows students to engage with a model writing assignment for every unit and to plan, write, and submit their unit assignment. For teachers, improved commenting tools allow you to review multiple drafts and give specific feedback. Students' activity scores are automatically captured in easy-to-use visual reports so the student and their teacher can easily track progress and view achievements. Teachers can also print or export student and class reports. Students can see their strengths and weaknesses across different skill areas and get instant feedback on activities to challenge themselves to improve. They can use online practice independently or as a part of a class set up by their teacher. Teachers can create a class for their students to join themselves or enroll all of them in a class at once. They can manage their students' accounts and help them if they have problems. They can lock and unlock content so students in a class only see activities when allocated by their teacher. Students and teachers can take part in class discussions about the unit question and other topics. They can also message other students in their class to use their English language skills in a protected, real-world environment. Teachers are able to monitor and edit their class's messages and discussions. Course resources are available for teachers and students, either as downloadable files or as files that can be played online.
Making a good entrance is one way to impress a prospective employer, and that's important because the latest
Teacher resources include tests, answer keys, audio scripts, teaching notes, grammar worksheets, and a variety of professional development resources. Registration is fast and easy. Students can register using an access code in their student book or with an access code purchased on the Oxford English Language Teaching website. Teachers can register using a teacher's access code. Talk to your local Oxford educational consultant about how to get one. Registration and the help area are available in a wide number of languages. IQ Online Practice can also be integrated for use with a number of other learning management systems. Contact your local Oxford sales consultant to find out more about IQ Online Practice and how it can benefit you and your students.
Welcome to Oxford Online Practice. To get started, you'll need a desktop computer or laptop. This can be Windows or a Mac, or an Apple or Android mobile device. An internet connection, an access code. You can usually find this in your teacher's book. Students can usually find their access code in their course books. How to register and sign into Oxford Online Practice. Find the website for your online practice in your book and type the address into your browser. Sign in using your Oxford ID username and password. Oxford ID is the name of the account that you use to access your Oxford University Press materials, such as the Oxford Teachers Club, Oxford Learn, Oxford Learners Dictionaries, and Oxford Learners Bookshelf. If you don't have an Oxford ID, select Register to create one. Choose your language from the list and enter your email address. You'll need to enter your email address twice to make sure it's spelt correctly. Then select Continue. How to use your access code. Both you and your students will need an access code for the online practice. You can usually find your access code on your access card in your teacher's book. Your students can usually find their access card in the course books. Teachers and students use their access codes in the same way. Choose your account type, then enter your access code. You only need to enter the numbers of your code. Choose Check Code. You will see the course name, account type, and how long you'll have access to the online practice. To complete your registration, enter your name. Choose your country from the list and enter a password. Tick the box to agree to the terms and conditions, then choose Complete Registration. Now that you've created your Oxford ID, you can use online practice anytime by signing in with your Oxford ID username and password. How to set up your class. You can create classes and add your students if you'd like to. Sign in with your Oxford ID username and password. On the home screen, select Create a Class. Type a name for your class and select Create Class. Your class will be given a class ID code. Students can use this code to join your class. Students can join the class when they register their online practice accounts, or do this at any time afterwards. If you'd like to add students to the class yourself, you can do this straight away. To add students, you'll need each student's full name, each student's email address, and each student's online practice access code if you have them. Access codes are optional and can be added by the students themselves later if you don't have them. On the next screen, select a template file to use. This will usually be the Excel template, but you can also use a CSV file if you prefer. The template will open with some sample information. Delete the sample information before you start adding your students. Type your students' first and last names into columns A and B. In column C, type students' email addresses. If any students already have an Oxford ID account, enter their existing Oxford ID username. In column D, enter a password for each student to use. This password will allow each student to sign in to online practice. Students will need to set their own password after signing in for the first time. In column E, type your students' access codes if you have them, exactly as they are shown on the access cards. You can leave this column blank if you want to, and students can add their own access codes when they sign in and choose their course level. They will then automatically join your class. Save the file to your computer. On the online practice website, select Upload your file. Find your file on your computer and select Open. You will be able to see when your students have signed in and joined the class. Give each student their Oxford ID username and password from your file. Each student will be able to sign in with the details you have set for them and use their Oxford online practice. If you don't have all of the information you need to add students to your class, don't worry. You can always ask students to join with your class ID code. You'll find the code at the top of the edit screen for your class. How to access and lock and unlock activities for your students. As a teacher, you can choose which activities your students can access and which they can't. This is done by locking and unlocking activities as you work through the course. Sign in using your Oxford ID username and password. From your home screen, select the class name. Choose a unit on the left and select the lock icon. You can then choose to lock the whole unit, sets of activities within the unit, or individual activities by clicking on the toggle buttons to the right of each subheading or activity. You can also set the date and time that content can be unlocked and made available to students with the calendar feature. This is useful for setting homework for a particular day or for setting activities as a test to be accessible for a limited period of time. When you click on the toggle button to lock either a whole unit, set of activities, or individual activity, a calendar and clock icon appears. Click on the calendar icon in the open field to select the date you want the content to be unlocked. Then click on the calendar icon in the close field to select the date you want the content to lock again. Click on the clock icon in the open field to select the time you want the content to be unlocked. Then click on the clock icon in the close field to select the time you want the content to lock again. Students will automatically have access to the locked activities between those dates and times. Choose Save to make the changes. To unlock the units or activities, choose the lock icon and then click on the toggle button of the locked units and activities. How students access and use activities. Students access the activities from their account. Students sign in using their Oxford ID username and password. On the student's home screen, they can select Go to Practice under the book title. They choose a unit, then select an activity to answer. When they have finished the activity, they choose Check Answers to view their score and see the correct answers. They can select Try Again to have another go or Next Activity to move on. How students check their progress. With Oxford Online Practice, students can choose activities to answer, check their scores, and keep track of their progress for each unit. Students sign in using their Oxford ID username and password. On the student's home screen, they can select Go to Practice under the book title. They can see how many activities they have attempted in each unit. They can change the way they see their scores. They can select the Show options and choose First Attempt to see scores for their first attempts at each activity, or Last Attempt to see their most recent scores for each activity. They can select the Scores option to choose Percent to see their scores as a percentage, or they can choose XY to see their scores out of the maximum marks available. At the bottom of the screen is a progress overview. This shows students the total number of activities they've done, their overall score, and how much time they've spent on completing the activities. They can also see their progress in each online practice skill that they have worked on. Students can print their scores table by selecting the print icon at the top of the screen. How to see your students' progress. When your students have started completing activities, you can see their scores and progress for each unit. Sign in using your Oxford ID username and password. Choose your class name from your home screen. Select the Unit tab on the left to look at your students' progress in a particular unit. To see the progress of an individual student, select the Student tab. You'll see the student's overall progress for each unit. You can change the way you see your students' scores if you want to. Select the Show options and choose First Attempt to see scores for the students' first attempts at each activity, or Last Attempt to see students' most recent scores for each activity. Select the Scores options to choose Percent to see students' scores as a percentage, or choose XY to see students' scores out of the maximum marks available. Select the Download icon to download your student scores in an Excel file. Select the Print icon to print the scores table. Some activities might need to be marked manually by you. If an activity in the student's gradebook is showing as submitted, the student has submitted an activity that you need to review and mark. Select the relevant activity in the student's gradebook to review the student's work. Add a score and an optional feedback comment. Click the Send button to send the score and feedback to the student. The student will be notified and be able to see their score and comment in the activity. How to access and use messages and discussions. You can send messages to students in your class. Students can also send messages to you or to other students in the class. You can also set up discussions for your students to take part in. You have the option to turn messages and discussions on or off for a class at any time. They are turned off by default. To turn them on, sign in using your Oxford ID username and password. Choose the Edit button next to the class you want to use messages and/or discussions for, then choose the Class Communication button. Click on the toggle button to show discussions and show messages if you want to use these features with your class. The Messages and Discussions buttons will then be visible in the toolbar on the left. To send a message to your students, choose the class name, then choose Messages on the left. Select New Message, then choose Add, and choose the students you want to send your message to. Enter a subject for your message. Type your message. To change the formatting of all or part of your message, choose Format at the bottom of the screen. Then choose from the options. To attach a file to your message, choose Attach at the bottom of the screen. Then find the file on your computer. You can attach files up to the maximum file size of 10 megabytes. When you have finished your message, choose Send in the bottom right corner. As a teacher, you can see all messages sent within your class, including messages between students, and you can delete them if needed. To do this, choose Moderator. Choose a message from the list to see the full message. Click the Delete button if you want to delete it. To set up a discussion with your class, select the class, then select Discussions on the left to start or view the discussion. Discussions allow your students to talk about other topics covered in their online course. There are two types of discussion for most courses: class threads and course threads. To add a new discussion, select New Thread. Starting a discussion thread is much like sending a message to your students. Enter a subject for your discussion. Type your message. To change the formatting of all or part of your message, select Format at the bottom of the screen, then select from the options. To attach a file to your message, select Attach, then find the file on your computer. You can attach files up to the maximum file size of 10 megabytes. When you're finished, select Send to post your discussion thread. To view your students' discussions, select the type of thread you'd like to see, then select a thread. To add to a thread, select Add Comment in the bottom right corner. As a teacher, you can also delete any discussion thread by clicking on the Delete button within the thread. How to access and use resources. To see the resources available for your level, sign in using your Oxford ID username and password. Select your class, then select Resources on the left. Choose a resource you want to use, such as tests, worksheets, teaching notes, course audio and video. Some resources can be downloaded and used offline. Select the Download button to download the resource to your device. Others can only be used while you are connected to the internet.
Hey Jack, what do you want to do on Saturday?
Let's go to an exhibition.
Need more help? Click the Help icon in your Oxford Online Practice website, or you can send us an email: eltsupport@oup.com.